The price of the fast life. In Umuchi village, Ngozi was born into a humble home. Her mother fought daily to feed their 5 children. Among them, Ngozi was the most beautiful. Everyone believed she would make the family proud someday. But beauty often becomes a dangerous trap. From her teenage years, Ngozi hated poverty with a burning anger. She envisioned pretty clothes, wigs, and modern phones. Instead of working for them, she found a quicker path. At first, she took small coins, hiding her actions. Mama Rose thought she misplaced the money. But the little coins soon turned to bigger notes. "Maybe you counted it wrong, Mama," she'd say dismissively. She knew exactly what she was doing. When she moved to the city with a relative, things got worse. She met new friends who dressed well and went to parties every night. To keep up, Ngozi began stealing from anyone who trusted her. She would visit friends and slip money into her bag. She took from her cousin, from church members, even from helpers. Her childhood friend Chike noticed her sudden change. "Ngozi, this life you're living will end badly," he warned her. "Chike, leave that your village advice. Nobody respects you when you're poor." One day, Ngozi got a job at Madame Onom's boutique. It was her dream environment: soft music, bright lights, shining mannequins, but the temptation was too much for her to resist. One afternoon, she secretly took 350,000 from the boutique's drawer. She planned to buy a new phone, wigs, and clothes immediately. She thought she was too smart to be caught. But Madame Onome had installed a CCTV camera 2 weeks earlier. The next morning, everything scattered before Ngozi even arrived. Madame Onome called the police as soon as she reviewed the footage. As Ngozi entered, smiling as usual, officers stepped in front of her. "Ngozi, you are under arrest for theft." Her world collapsed instantly. She froze in disbelief. She begged and cried, but the evidence was clear. The video showed her clearly packing the money into her bag. The officers escorted a sobbing Ngozi out of the boutique. The fast life had just ended in a police car. News of the theft spread like wildfire through Umuchi and the city. Her relatives quickly rejected her when the shame became too much. Her supposedly loyal friends disappeared overnight. People pointed at Mama Rose in the market, whispering, "That's the thief's mother." Chike visited her once in the police station. She couldn't lift her head in shame. "I warned you," he said softly. "It's never too late to change." 2 years later, Ngozi was confined behind cold, gray bars. She remembered her mother's tired face and Chike's honest warnings. The glitter of the fast life was an empty, meaningless lie. Only honest work guarantees a peaceful future, she finally understood. The consequences of her actions arrived swiftly in the courtroom. The evidence from Madame Onome's camera was undeniable. The theft from her employer carried a heavy penalty. The court sentenced her to 2 years in prison. The sentence meant 2 years away from the life she chased. No makeup, no fancy clothes, no nightlife. Just time to finally think. The walls of the prison were gray and unyielding. No makeup, no expensive wigs to hide behind. She finally had time to look inward instead of outward. She remembered Mama Rose's tired face every morning. She remembered Chike's honest, earnest warning. All the glitter she chased was empty, a fleeting illusion. It was a lie that cost her everything important. Freedom, dignity, and her family's peace were gone. The price of the fast life was too high. She finally understood the painful truth. A fast life built on lies always ends in doom. The quick path is often the shortest route to ruin. Hard work may be slow, requiring patience. It requires effort every single day. But it is the only road that leads to a peaceful tomorrow. Peace is found in integrity, not possession. Ngozi understood this too late. The journey back to honesty begins now. The value of what truly matters cannot be stolen. She must serve her time and use the time to rebuild herself. Hard work earns respect. Lies only earn a cell. The path to dignity is built stone by slow stone. Ngozi finally chose the long road home. Years later, Ngozi returned to her community, changed. She was not rich, but she was respected. Mama Rose watched her daughter, finally at peace. There was no luxury, but there was honesty. Chike approached her stall. He didn't mention the past, only the future. The slow road is beautiful, he said. Ngozi finally learned the difference between wanting and earning. The pursuit of glamour costs everything. Integrity provides the only real foundation for tomorrow. Lies only earn a cell. Hard work earns respect. Lies only earn a cell. The path to dignity is built stone by slow stone. Ngozi finally chose the long road home. Years later, Ngozi returned to her community, changed. She was not rich, but she was respected. Mama Rose watched her daughter, finally at peace. There was no luxury, but there was honesty. Chike approached her stall. He didn't mention the past, only the future. The slow road is beautiful, he said. Ngozi finally learned the difference between wanting and earning. The pursuit of glamour costs everything. Integrity provides the only real foundation for tomorrow. Lies only earn a cell. Hard work earns respect. Lies only earn a cell. The path to dignity is built stone by slow stone. Ngozi finally chose the long road home. The sun beat down mercilessly on Umuchi's dusty thoroughfares. Ngozi watched the wealthy cars pass by, fueling her envy. Every neighbor's slightly better possession became a source of frustration. She dreamed of silk scarves and shiny patent leather shoes. The weight of expectation was heavy on her shoulders. Mama Rose worked until her back ached to keep them fed. Ngozi saw the pain, but interpreted it as stagnation. The idea of easy money began to take root firmly. She justified every future transgression internally. Poverty, she decided, was the ultimate humiliation. The first few stolen coins felt heavy in her palm. The money bought a small, bright trinket. Mama Rose noticed the missing totals, but attributed it to oversight. Ngozi perfected her innocent excuses with practiced ease. The initial guilt soon morphed into anticipation for the next score. Soon, the notes grew larger, signaling escalating risk. She started buying slightly better things, hiding them well. The thrill of deception overshadowed the fear of discovery. This secretive success made the village life unbearable. The move to the city felt like a deserved liberation. In the city, Ngozi quickly adapted to the fast-paced, materialistic culture. Her new friends only valued surface appearances and spending power. At Chike, visiting from the village, looked distinctly out of place beside her. He tried to talk sense into her about earning respect slowly. You can work, save, and grow small, he advised. At Ngozi's disdain for his counsel was palpable. She saw his honest life as pathetic and backward. Her need for instant gratification intensified daily. She began taking from anyone who offered trust. Each successful theft reinforced her belief that the rules didn't apply to her. At Madame Onome's boutique was paradise realized for Ngozi. She loved touching the fabrics and imagining them as hers. At Madame Onome, ever vigilant, noticed small discrepancies in the inventory. Her suspicion grew over several weeks of unexplained losses. 2 weeks before the incident, she took decisive action. The small lens blended perfectly into the modern decor. At Ngozi remained blissfully unaware of the electronic witness. She continued her daily routine, walking right under the eye. The vault of temptation felt wide open, unguarded. She was preparing for her biggest mistake yet. The morning started with Ngozi feeling confident and victorious. She entered the boutique with a confident, almost arrogant stride. The smiles vanished as the officers appeared. The metallic click of the handcuffs was deafening in the sudden silence. Her mind raced, desperately searching for an explanation that didn't exist. She started to cry uncontrollably, dropping her expensive bag. At Madame Onome stood firm, watching the collapse with zero pity. The CCTV footage was displayed publicly to the officers as undeniable proof. Her pleas for mercy were met only with procedural silence. The journey to prison began right there, in the reflection of the boutique window. The institutional clothing felt rough against her sensitive skin. The silence of her cell at night was louder than any party noise. She missed the ability to curate her image. The artificial glamour of her city life dissolved completely. She felt the weight of her mother's public humiliation daily. She recalled Chike's face, so full of honest concern. Why hadn't she listened to the voice of true support? The realization hit. She traded true respect for cheap admiration. Her fast life had only led to a very slow, painful stop. She needed a new foundation, built on something real. The city's glitter was instantly replaced by concrete walls. 2 years of uniformity stretched ahead of her, monotonous and long. The memory of the boutique's silk felt cheap and foolish now. The fleeting joy of stolen items had cost her everything stable. She finally understood that hard work was the only real currency. The future demanded discipline, not desperation. She pictured a peaceful life, built brick by honest brick. That peace was worth more than all the shimmering lies she chased. The path of lies is steep and ends in a cliff edge. The road of hard work is flat and well maintained. One offers quick thrills, the other, lasting shelter. Ngozi chose the wrong terrain for too long.